question that...
Thank you, sir. See? What did I say? Jedi Master, right there. Thank you, sir.
I couldn't really think of a question that you haven't already been asked. So, is there a question that you want to be asked and then answer it?
That is a great question. You know what? I'm sure there is. And I'll tell you something, you're right. It's amazing how many times you get the same question. But at the same time, it's special when it's like right here. You know what I mean? When like we're actually talking, we're in the room together, we're interacting. It's kind of special that way. It's funny, like how many millions of times have I told some of the same stories? And yet, people always ask, even though they could go on YouTube and see the story 400 times, there's something special about being right there and sharing it personally. So I'm always happy to answer the same questions. There are some voice actors like, go watch YouTube. Next question. But I'm happy to answer, even though I feel like sometimes people are going to kind of be bored because, well, yeah, we know the answer to this. But I'm happy to answer whatever questions I get asked. I'm sure there are some good questions that I have not been asked. There's this friend of mine. Actually, he's a fan, but I've known him for so long. His name is Jason. He's a really great friend. He's a member of the most awesome fan group on the planet, the Risen Bull Rangers. We're approaching 12,000. I would strongly encourage you guys to get yourself a piece of that. Join us. If you have not joined us, oh, look at that. She's even got her Risen Ball t-shirt on. Sweet. Anyway, so consider yourselves officially invited to join if you're not a member. It's free, it's on the internet, and you will immediately have a 12,000 member family and be surrounded with a lot of friends that love the same things you love. But Jason always comes to conventions and he tries his best to think of a good, deep, thoughtful question that I've never been asked. And he's really good at it. But I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind. But when I hear it, I know it. You know, I'm like, ooh, that's a good one. Somebody asked me one a couple of weeks ago and I was like, wow. No one's ever asked me that. So if you think of one, you let me know. Dante.
What's your favorite vegetable?
Broccoli. That's it. Because it sounds like broly. You know what? I like broccoli, but I like snow peas. Are they vegetables?
Yes.
Just my luck, they're like fruit or something, you know? I like asparagus. Is corn a vegetable?
Yes.
I like corn. Peas? I like peas.
Yeah.
Beans? I hate beans. OMG. Lord, I hate beans. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at you with your little Pikachu ears. Uh-oh, I'm making the Jedi Master run around too much. He's like, dang you for picking people so far away.
What is your favorite Pokemon?
You. I'm not very familiar with Pokemon, but are you a Pokemon? Then you're my favorite.
Have you ever had like a person do a voice that you wanted to do for, like a character?
All the time. Yeah.
What show is it for?
Yeah, there are a lot of those kind of characters, but you know what? This brings up a really good question. There have been people in the past that have asked me this question many times, and the question is, are there characters that you wish you could have played that someone else got cast in? Absolutely. Of course there are. There are several that I even like by name, right immediately come to my mind. And about a year and a half ago, I used to actually talk about it. And then somebody told me something. Ooh, Vampire Night. Are you Yuki? You look lovely. Thank you. I will eat it. Thank you, sweetie. I used to answer that question. I used to think, well, I'll just tell them this character or this character. I really wanted to play this character. And then a friend of mine said, you know, Vic, I don't know if you've thought about this, but when you say stuff like that, it could be misconstrued that you think you'd have done a better job with the character, and that in some weird kind of a way, it's kind of a backhanded slam at the actor who actually did the role. And I thought about it. I thought, you know what, you're right. It could be taken that way. And that would never be the way I would want it to be interpreted. I love these guys. You know, I love these guys that I work with. And I would never want them to think that, oh, so-and-so got to play this role that I wanted to play. And I'm a little baby, so I'm going to talk about it and, you know, and make it sound like I could have done a better job. I would never want that to happen. So I stopped actually mentioning any characters that I wanted to play that somebody else got to play, because I would never want to take away from the actor's performance who actually did the role. But of course, there are always those kind of roles. Go ahead and pick somebody, sir.